You want to know another one? You average 7 points and 2 assists. I don't even know why I'm doing this.
But you, on the other hand, nah, you ain't got it. Humble yourself. Embrace the constructive criticism, get better at that, and move the fuck on.
Yo, it's your boy DJP, one half of the Real Recap podcast. I'm back there with another video. I'm not gonna be too long-winded on this one. Like I always say, like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to our channel. We appreciate it. We're almost at 700 subs. Help us get there. We love you.
Pat Bev responded. They're going back at each other. So what do you think about this Pat Bev, Trae Young beef in these basketball streets?
It kind of seems like what Patrick was talking about. Again, it's no different than a meeting. If you ain't in that door, don't talk like you know what's going on in the door, right? And that's what Trae Young was basically saying. Like, hey, let the All-Stars talk about this. If you ain't make no All-Star game and you don't know nothing about the All-Star, don't talk All-Stars, talk, right? Because you do get the rest.
We back in these NBA streets, and today, obviously, this has been going on for probably the last week, but I got to put my input on the Pat Beverley and the Trae Young situation. The reason why I got bothered by this is because I felt like people were giving Pat Beverley a little too much slack. And people act like Pat Beverley doesn't have the right to speak. And I think Pat Beverley comes from an era of basketball that I miss. I'm not saying he's that much older or anything like that, but Pat Beverley comes from an era of probably the last round of good basketball. And I'm going back as far as his days when he played with like the Houston Rockets. And he was just, to me, the best defender in the NBA. Him and I believe it was Avery Bradley. These two guys were on your team. You had a damn showstopper. So we all know Trae Young is a beast. I get it. Trae Young, I know that you're younger than Pat, but I feel like you can't disrespect some of the OGs just because they weren't given the same opportunity that you was. Now, everybody made it to the NBA. Everybody had the same opportunity. Everybody has the same 24 hours. But the reason why I resonate kind of with what Pat Beverley was saying is because I think as human beings, we all go through that, even in just our normal life. Sometimes we feel like, damn, no matter how hard I work, bro, it just always seemed like somebody else has it easier than me. Now, the NBA is a little bit different because you have to actually have the skill, and Trae Young definitely got the skill, especially being, at the height that he is, to be able to come to Atlanta, kind of change around that franchise, getting these guys to the, Eastern Conference Finals, making these nice playoff push, getting the New York's, not just the Knicks, getting New York City to just hate you as a player. That takes a lot of balls, and you definitely earned that, dog. But I feel like you can't look down at people that wasn't in your shoes. So when Pat Beverley said the part about, him being uncomfortable, I think he was in a more uncomfortable situation because most of the times when you make it to the league and you don't kind of, make it really like establish yourself and then you have to go overseas, that's harder to have to come back. So when you over there playing overseas and you just hear the stories, I got friends that played overseas too, but it's just like you just hear these stories about the pressures they have and how easy it is for them just to get sent home. And
right. You talk about being uncomfortable. You think you can make it out of second division Ukraine? Right? You think you can go to Greece? Make a team, right? Make a team and get out of Greece and get drafted. You think you can go play in Russia for 3 years? Make it out? Still go to the NBA? You talking about uncomfortable? I'm the motherfucker that know uncomfortable more than anybody. Right?
Man. Most of the time, these NBA teams are not looking for them. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you got people like Brandon Jennings that was able to go, and then come back. We got that. But Brandon Jennings was a beast, coming up out of freaking high school and all this stuff like that. So he was good. But Patrick Beverley, even though I hear stories that he was averaging like 30-something points, back in high school, Patrick Beverley was always presented to me as just like a great role player. And I feel like a lot of people want to play with him. A lot of players that Trae Young, mentioned that Pat Beverley couldn't get it done with, I still feel like they respect him, and I feel like that they asked for him. Like, this man played with LeBron, this man played with Giannis. I just think that there's a lot of credit that he deserves. So just because he's not the guy that's, making all of the buckets, but when you need that defense, which is something that Trae doesn't really have as far as his presence, I want a Patrick Beverley. I'll take a Patrick Beverley going to war because of a few things. He's a dog. He's never how you say, starstruck about, oh my God, this is Kobe or this is who. He's gonna play you.
You'll be playing with LeBron James and Anthony Davis.
They'll be playing with me.
Yeah?
Yeah, I made the playoffs last year. They didn't. That's the difference.
He's a hooper, bro. Trae Young, I feel like you probably don't really play well with others. And the reason why I'm saying that, because Pat Beverley did make a good point, dude. You do get people kind of fired or kind of removed.
Everyone that sees Trae Young gets fired. That's the truth.
Man, I remember they gave this man DeJounte Murray, I think it was like 2 years ago. We thought that was going to be something decent. DeJounte came right up out of freaking San Antonio. Nothing happened. Then I remember you got John Collins. Nothing too crazy cool. John Collins came. He left. Then Nate McMillan, your coach, because y'all couldn't agree on nothing. And this is why I hate the fact that the owners get these players so much power. He gets fired because of you. So when Pat Beverley is saying it's true, you are who you are, dog, but you're not leaving a great name that people want to play with all the time. And me saying that, I feel like that's kind of what like LeBron goes through, where it's like people don't come to the Lakers because of that reason. Sometimes people don't want to play with the person that, yes, he's the star, but I'm not going to get any better playing with them. Don't get me wrong, Trae Young, you can shoot really good. I think you are a beast. And I don't think nothing that you said is incorrect, because you doing what you doing, coming into the league the way you did, I applaud you. I just saw this like, damn, like that man does kind of have a point, bro. People didn't want to play with Kobe sometimes. LeBron, I don't even know, man. I just think that there's just some players that when you do play with them, your stock does go down. And I feel like that's kind of who you kind of are. Like, yeah, you're good for yourself. You're getting your max contract. You make your money. You're doing your thing. But I do think you getting that money at such a young age, I do think it has stunted your growth, bro. Like, you really ain't doing nothing. And it's crazy because for the last 2 years, they've been trying to move you around the league, and it's like nobody's really chasing you. I'm not saying it's just because of who you are. It could be salaries, all that stuff. But, dude, the fact that you've been on a team for 2 years and nobody's even really, made that gigantic move just to get you, I don't feel like no one's really sweating you. And I know Pat Beverley, obviously, his money is a lot lower, but Pat is always asked about, bro. No matter what. This man been jumping teams, yeah, but he's a crucial piece to being on a team. And I feel like people prefer having him than having you right now. Because if we're going to go get you, like, for example, if you went to the Lakers right now, we got to give up some good pieces. It might make Atlanta better, but not us. And I don't know. I just don't see that you play well with others. And I kind of want to also go just to say, I remember LeBron said this thing on his podcast.
My first year in Miami, yeah, we had a big three. And everyone said it's a super team this, super team that. But we had to build our team around all minimum guys, which was still okay, but we didn't fill out the complimentary guys enough. Yeah, we had Rio, we had Udonis, but we didn't have enough as far as enough complimentary guys to actually make it all work. And we still made it to the finals. And we still probably should have won the finals. But my second year, we was able to grab some complimentary players and role players that really I'm talking about superstars in their roles.
Cole came, they had those right pieces that kind of just fit the system. And I feel like that's what Pat Beverley, or that's who Pat Beverley is. No matter where he goes, it's like, yo, this guy's defense is gonna, make this team better. And people want him for that. But Trae Young, I can't say people checking for you when it comes to that, because defensively, bro, you are a liability. And I also want to say, I do feel like Trae Young, like, you have had players that have played with you that have left, whether they got traded or not, and even coaches.
The fact, everyone that comes sees Trae Young, they get thrown out the building by their column. You hear me? Players come, they see you, they get traded. Coaches come, they coach you, they get traded. GMs come, they govern the team, and then they get fired. Everyone that sees Trae Young gets fired. That's the truth.
DeJounte Murray and you, I thought was going to be a nice 1-2 punch. Never really happened. We didn't actually saw that. John Collins was there. He was cool, but nothing happened. And then Nate McMillan, you pretty much got up out of there because y'all disagreed.
I really don't know if you know or not, right? Players don't want to come play in Atlanta. Coaches don't want to come coach in Atlanta. Lloyd Pierce, great young coach. Nate McMillan, phenomenal coach. Cooked when they came and saw you. Cooked. We talking about coaches who had bright futures. right? People come see you after they leave you, they're cooked. That's the truth.
And I just feel like because you're the star, the owners are gonna put up a lot more BS from you. And I feel like that's what they always do. It's like, hey, either you want me or the coach is gone. And that's what happened. So I do kind of feel like you are kind of cancerous. And I do kind of feel like to a degree, even though you are really good, bro, I just feel like I don't understand why you haven't been traded yet. They've been trying to trade you for 2 years. And don't get me wrong, you're still hooping, but I just feel like beyond just the whole salary, I do feel like there's a reason why people are not, breaking down the doors for you. And I don't know. So I think kind of credit to what Pat Bev was saying is, people probably really don't want to play with you over there in like Atlanta. I do think that is one of the things that Pat Beverley said that you probably should take heed to and really listen to, because if he's hearing this behind closed doors, bro, you can be out of the NBA anytime, no matter how good you are. Look at Ben Simmons right now, bro. Nobody wants to deal with that. Egos, nah, bro. I hate to say, you're not 6'8", bro. You're a good point guard. You're doing your thing, like he said. You shoot you shoot damn near as good as Curry do.
Right? I'm all with you. The game needs it. The game needs you to be in the playoffs, right? You're the closest motherfucking thing when it comes from shooting the ball to Steph Curry. You're the closest motherfucking thing. The game needs it. But
bro, you ain't gonna be here long enough with this little attitude. You got to change up that name, man. We've seen a lot of players like that, bro. Carmelo got up out of here for that, bro. You don't want to be that, man. So I do think instead of you taking things so personal, I do think that there is some goal to what he's saying. And I do feel like other players aren't doing you any justice by, chiming in and, trying to make Pat Beverley seem like he's wrong. I don't think Kevin Durant needs to step in there. Kevin Durant's probably one of the worst people to take any advice from, because anytime someone says something about him, he has a fake Twitter account. So a lot of people can dish it. They can't take it. Kevin Durant, clearly you can't. So I just don't feel like you need to really step in there. I mean, I respect people like Jeff T, Gilbert Arenas, that was able to have a platform and kind of, talk about it and kind of see it on both ends, especially Jeff T. But, other than that, man, I just think Pat has a right to speak. Trae has a right to speak. But if we're being honest, at the end of the day, both of these guys don't have championships. They've both ended off pretty much at the same places. They don't have rings. So that's why I look at it, where it's like, it's so crazy that we are having an argument over two people that have not even accomplished the main goal. If we're just doing it based off of, possible, Hall of Fame type of things, okay, cool. But like, at the end of the day, the big goal is to get the championship. And I just think that it's just kind of corny now that in the NBA that like, I feel like ever since Kobe's gone, like people just kind of find a way to kind of slip into the conversations of certain talks. Like, nah, both of you guys haven't won. And I feel like if Kobe was here, he probably would have said the same thing. Like, you guys ain't win. Like, job's not done yet. So,
job's not finished.
So I think Pat Beverley has realized, like, maybe he's at the end of his road where it's like, I'm probably not going to be playing back in the NBA no more. Trae Young, I want to see you get better. Bro, just take the advice, get better, bro. No need to be, going back and forth. You guys are brothers. You guys have both made it to the NBA. And at the end of the day, if you guys really want to go play one-on-one, y'all can go do that. Pat Beverley ain't never been afraid to pull up on nobody.
Man, I will dog your little ass. You know that.
We only played 3 times.
Okay, I'm talking about now, nigga.
I don't want to play.
Okay, fuck that. Let's go in the bank account. I'm gonna pull out 100,000. You pull out 100,000. We play each other.
Let's go, BJ.
So, man, today, man, I think this was just nice for the NBA, especially us fans, because the NBA is coming back, and I hope Trae Young can use this energy to kind of motivate him. And I do hope he does get into a better situation so that, this negative, aura he has around him that is gone, man. But you guys let me know what you guys think about that. I know that this is kind of an older topic now, but, do you guys think Pat Beverley was all the way wrong? Was he crazy for saying it? Or does Pat Beverley even have a right to speak? So you let me know. But until the next Real Recap podcast, peace.